won't bore you with, but my estimation for 29 million views, and again, this is an estimate, but it is a very conservative estimate. I estimate that James made about $165,000 just from ads on this video. Honestly, it was probably more. And that's just one video with Ian. He films quite a few videos with his brother. Even if he gave Ian a quarter of that, that would be about $44,000 that Ian made for just an hour or two of his time. And I don't know a lot of people that for spending a couple of hours doing something that makes you a little uncomfortable for $44,000, a lot of people would say yes to that. That is a year's salary for a lot of people for just a couple of hours worth of work. It's more than a year's salary for a lot of people. So I would understand why Ian would do something like this if that were the situation. I didn't watch every single video that James filmed with Ian. I only watched the first few of them that they filmed. And it made me really, really sad for Ian. And I don't know, again, all we know is what people show us on the internet. But just Ian's body language during these, he's absolutely miserable and really doesn't want to be there. But James is insisting, James is egging him on. There's one particular
I was watching a
really bothered me.
video about James Charles history.
The video that I just mentioned, the one where Ian put.
Good morning, good morning. Whoops. Let's see here. Get situated. Medicine Monster. Haven't been paying any. Wait, what did it say? Reminder. Okay. Haven't looked on YouTube or done anything. I'm finally feeling better. I'm on my medication. I kept saying I was going to come on here and show. I don't know what's. Let me say this. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I don't care what anybody says, what anybody thinks. Like, it runs through my head that Stitches was like, it's been so long ago, you're gonna keep going, whatever. Yeah, I am. Because when I woke up this morning, I thought about like some things. Like, y'all are fucking creepy. You're creepy. My calls were listening to, you know what I mean? Like, my family, like, there's no way that fugitive wasn't, you know, I'm not going to get into it all. I'm not going to get angry this morning, but I'm not moving on from that. That was some sick, gross things that was done to me. I'm going to go through a few here because I kept saying I was going to go live and show some of this proof I have on here of what was done to me. And it pisses me off when I look at it, to be honest. I've been like trying to just let my medicine like take effect, like be chill about everything, like not let my temper get the best of me, like Barbie when she was like, you lost 2 years ago. Let me tell you what, Barbie, Sarah, it's not about winning or losing. It's about right and wrong. And what you did, Sarah, and what you participated in, Sarah, was wrong. Period. There's no justification for what was done to me, my family, or my friend. There's only two possibilities. Someone some way was listening to my calls with my friend because things were repeated back to me for over a year, verbatim. Verbatim. I remember when my mom, I'd taken a nap and I'd got back up and my mom had left and come back. And before I even got out of bed, I had went and looked at this one lady's YouTube channel, and I won't mention her YouTube channel name, but I had looked at her post, and she had posted like these boiled peanuts, and she had put little eyes on the peanuts, right? Like they were looking back. Well, I got up and I went in there, I knocked on my mom's bedroom door. Guess what she had in there? She had went to the gas station and got boiled peanuts. So that means they had got the password to our security cams here at my home, and they were watching. They were watching what was going on around my home and then trolling me and driving me crazy until I literally broke and was in a state of psychosis, thinking people were following me, thinking there were cameras in my home. I bought phone after phone. I mean, they terrorized me for, I mean, ever since basically, it started in the summer of 2022. Anyway, I just wanted to put that down for the record. Like, when people are like, why are you mad about that? Why do you keep going in it? And then we had this nasty bitch here. I was out this day here. I was outside mowing my yard. And there's an oak tree. Basically, it almost looks like this one in my front yard. It's an old scrub oak. And I was out there raking and raking. I think I was putting fertilizer down, whatever. And my camera aims exactly that way. So I was standing in my yard by that tree. Oh, I can't get this to focus good. Hold on, let me turn this up brighter. Anyway, that's a tree and that's a guy standing out by it, if you can see. Anyway, so I come back in and, they could see because they had got the password to my YouTube channel, they could go in to see what, like, you can go into the Google part and it shows you what you search on Google. If you liked a video, whatever, it shows it in there. Like, it gives a detailed list. So whenever I would go to a YouTube chat and watch a live stream, they would know which one I was in and they would go in there and troll me, or they would message the owner of the channel if they knew that person. And in the community I did, everybody kind of knew everybody. So they would message, say, oh, hey, JL's over there watching your stream. So they would fuck with me and I would go crazier and crazier. And they did this intentionally to me when I was unmedicated. I had told Alex I was off my medication. Y'all continue to do that to me. Anyway, so I would go to her channel and look, and she would basically show me what I was doing in real time. Then this lady, my mom had got a message, this one right here, a message from on her phone, a text message. My mom always wears hats. My mom's like 66 years old. She likes hats. So she always wears these hats on the day at work when you're allowed to wear a hat. And so her supervisor sent her a text message saying, hey, it's hat day, whatever, da 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 da. Well, anyway, so I'm not sure 100% if it was a text or this, but then, my mom walks to the car outside, gets in, she's got her bucket hat on. This lady's over here trolling me about bucket hats. So these people are calling me an obsessive person, a stalker, all these things. Why they literally had got the password to my Y security cams and were watching the feedback of every time we walked in and out of our home, or we were leaving in our car, or I was in my yard. And then they were telling me that I'm a bad person. Okay, so anyway, we'll move on from that one. Let's see. She went on and on and on about hats and trolling me about my mom. Because my mom, it's sick. These people are sick. Let me see. What else I got on here? I remember, and I had sent my mom, this is how I knew it was in text too, because if someone gets just for future reference, if someone gets your Apple password, they can, anyway, I'm going to get into the logistics. Anyway, I'd sent my mom this picture of like the cat in the backyard. This was a stray cat that started coming around. Anyway, and they trolled me about that. Let's see what else. This one here, she was notorious for doing it. Troll me about things going on every single day around my home, things I would text to my sister. Troll me about my mom. It was very sick. Let's see. This was when I had got it. This lady here was trolling me. She lives in a single wide moldy trailer in Ohio. And she was like, someone sent her tickets to a comedy club, right? A comedy club. Well, I went and checked my email. Guess what? I got free tickets to a comedy club. So they were trolling me because they were getting my emails. I mean, this went on multiple times a day for years. If I was here, cappuccino, it started right about the time Stewie found out you were actually lying to him about being a woman. Barbie is right. It lost 2 years ago. But you know what? He knew. No. No. Alex knew I was a man. Did I come out and tell Alex I was a man? No, but he knew. If I get this laptop out right here and go back, I've read it, JT or Lindy, whichever one of y'all that is. Because I'm sure both of y'all are up after I slept all last evening and all night, so I can get up today and go to that DUI school and have them sign that paper so I can get my driver's license, so I can rent that car and go stream live from out of that fugitive freak felon's front yard on the sidewalk. JT, you're going to put that bitch in prison, JT. You did that. That was my fucking grandma, dude. Fucking Stewie and Horse Face Productions, Tara. Tara, once I find out your address, everybody in the world, everybody you work with, everybody on your street is gonna know you're a fucking suicide troll. Because you are. I don't even fucking knew you, bitch. I didn't know you, and you're a suicide troll. You helped try to kill me for Bridget and Alex, Tara. Just like your friend Savage already killed someone on here, made him run out in front of moving traffic because she trolled him so much. It's sick, and you're sick people, Tara. What, JT, Lindy? Again, you. Okay, so Alex, and even Alex was like, "Oh, are you sure you don't have like a gray mustache?" And I was like, "Oh no, I keep my old lady mustache dyed." Blah 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 blah. He knew, and even before I'd exposed him on April 6th, I believe it was, JT slash Lindy. I'm gonna get mad. Let me light this joint. One moment, please. Inhale, exhale. We must remain calm, cool, and collected at all times. Okay. So anyway, I had got mad at him back in March, and I'm like, okay, bro, you're gay, blah, blah, blah. Come on. He knew. And he had stopped, like we stopped I'd always like repost Stewie's things, comment on his videos. Well, when we started talking, we distanced ourselves from each other. You know why? Because he knew I was a gay man. And he was suicide trolling me to try to to blackmail me so I wouldn't turn that fugitive freak in, JT slash Lindy, whoever Cappuccino is. And who's Tammy Heaton or whatever that's following me over there with the little elf thing? Is that Tammy that's fighting with the ship, Tammy, or is that Tammy, Lindy's friend, with a little elf thing that always watches my TikTok? So I was curious about that. Anyway, let me let these cats in and I'll go down a few more of these because I'm not going to spend all morning on here. I didn't want y'all to think like I don't have all these screenshots. That's why I didn't do it. I was protecting my mental health because I was going through a little depressive thing. I didn't even talk to my friend. And then finally, when I answered to talk to her, I made her cry because I was like, I just need some time. Anyway, I'm telling y'all, you destroyed my life, JT. And if you think I would ever let that go, then you have not really delved into my history since I was a child. Okay? There's stories I could tell you, JT. So I hate to burst your bubble or Lindy's bubble, but until this is come to a conclusion, and it will, and I'm sure it's going to be a barn burner when it does, because everything I've ever done in my life is pretty dramatic. Come on, kitty cats. If you're coming in, coming in. You're just going to sit there and stare at me. Well, then I ain't getting back up. My bitches. Okay. Are all those cats licensed to go to get their shots? I'm asking for my friend. Well, just because I like to prove people wrong, because it's one of my favorite pastimes. Let's see. Here's, I believe, which one is this tag? This is Emilio's tag. He's registered with the county. Where is, I think this is Cuckoo Carlos's, named after the troll on here, Carlos. Yes, it is. This is Carlos. 18 weeks back when he got fixed. There's his registered in shots. Their rabies shot, I think, is good for 3 years, and the other 2 females I'm having fixed, and that will be done by next week. JT. So thank you for your concern and your concern about my animals, but they are top notch. They get everything they want. I buy them treats. I buy them good cat food. I buy them litter. They do whatever they want to. They get free reign. All of the 1,400 square feet of my home is their home to do as they wish, JT. Now move, Emilio. Get out my drawer, boy. Go. Go. Emilio, get out of my drawer. I can't beat you and spank you because people are listening. LOL. Okay, anybody else coming in? Hey, Google, turn off the big light. So like I was saying, Alex knew I was a man, period. Did he want to make me end my life after I exposed him for selling provocative pictures to me for pennies? Well, I'm sure he did. And he almost did kill me, like I mentioned in my video the other day. He like did all that weird shit trying to like, he spent 4 hours on a live stream with me to convince me that he loved me as much as he loved his ex-girlfriend. Okay, that's sick. That's sick. What kind of person would literally do that to, like, if you are like, talk about me being dedicated to the cause. He was dedicated to the cause to try to make me end my life. And then he would troll me and troll me, and I'd cry and I would drink and I would take pills. And then that one morning he's like, "Oh, I worry about you sometimes when when I don't get a message to you by, 9, when I don't get a message from you." He was trying to kill me because of that fat pig in the attic and because of a fugitive felon freak. Well, you know what, little boy? Little boy. I like to call him little boy because he is a little boy. He's 35 years old. I'm going to be 48. That's a little boy to me. When I was that age, I still had a lot of growing to do. Up to like a few years ago, I still had a lot of growing to do, and I still have a lot of growing to do. But I can tell you what, I've never tried to make someone end their life, and I'm not a fugitive. And I've never taken a penny from anyone on here. So thank you for that, JT or Lindy. All Lindy has to do is go turn herself in. It's that simple. Go take care of it. Go take care of it. She's a strong woman. She's a rape survivor. I mean, everybody's done her wrong in her whole life. Her ex-husbands, her friend, everybody. Everybody did Lindy wrong. She's just like Jackie told me. Lindy doesn't bother nobody. She's a good Christian woman. And these people, they're just jealous of her. They're jealous of her. That's what Jackie used to tell me all the time. I never went real life against anyone on here until it was done to me. That little down low weirdo took $3,800 of my mom's money when my septic tank was busted and she didn't have a fucking tooth in her mouth. And he took it. And he knew about my dog starting to get that tumor on his neck because that's in my DMs where I sent him the picture where I first heard I have to put a bandage on it. And I still gave him money after that. And he still tried to kill me. So he didn't give a fuck about my dog because if he gave a fuck about that dog, he wouldn't have tried to kill its owner. And that's what he tried to do. And that's the anger that comes out to me because I could have, if there would have been guns and bullets in that gun that night, I would have blown it off. You understand? That's to me, you tried to kill me. And I've said it and I'll say it again, and it brings out the pure anger in me. It's not hatred, it's anger. And that's the way I'll always look at it. Y'all tried to kill me. Do you give a fuck? You violated my grandma over there when Horseface Productions and Gay Alex wanted to troll me about my grandma needing a diaper. That means you knew way too much about what was going on at her fucking home. Just about the tiptoe to the tulips, just about the pumpkins, just about all that. You don't think I'm gonna make sure that someone pays for that? You don't think that? You honestly don't think that in your head? No, I have shown proof of everything. I've got it. Let's go through some more proof on here. There's not 2 years of, it's easy for someone. There's a fugitive. Like when the police come up here the last time when I was manic that time before I got back on all my medication, I said, people have killed people for $20. You don't think someone's going to go through this so they don't have to go to prison for 10 years because they owe Georgia that? Absolutely. People have killed people for less. People have killed people in road rage incidents. You don't think someone's going to try to suicide troll me and blackmail me to help so Alex doesn't get in trouble and she doesn't get in trouble? JT, it's not about the money though, dude. I gave him the money. I aggravate him about the money or I say shit about the money. It's not about the money. I gave it to him because I enjoyed his company, period. And he gave me his company, trolling or not. He gave me his company. He earned his money. And I say that to be a bitch and I try to say this and that because that's what people do. People do it to me. But I don't like, he earned his money, period. I don't really hold it much against him. I've always said that. I know what I deserve and I know what I didn't deserve. Lindy was my friend for 7 years. We talked daily for 7 years. Maybe she didn't look at our friendship like as a good friendship as I did, but she was someone that I talked to. She was my friend. I got up every day and did my thing and I woke up and we spoke and she would send me, like when I was sleeping, all the things going on around here and I would do the same for her if she wasn't around. I'd be like, here's this clip, here's this. We were friends and we did that. And for her not to just come to me and say, look, Ryan, Look, I didn't say Alex stole it. I didn't say he stole it. Uh, he knew the situation around here and he still took it. So there's that. But I gave him that money and he provided a service. Period. Do I think the farting stream or and all that should have went on? Absolutely not. Do I think when I first started talking to him, he should have said like, "Hey, dude, don't tell anybody, but I've got a girlfriend in real life, and I just don't talk it about on here. But I would love to be your friend, whatever. And we can talk and chill." And it could have went so much differently, and I would have still ran my mouth to him. I still would have still gave him money. Well, if you want to mince words, then that's fine, Lindy or JT. That's fine. That's fine. I think we're a little bit past that. Just like the other day when Oda that was selling. And hey, Lindy, you remember you've got the screenshot too of Oda over there trying to hawk her feet on Instagram, her bare feet for money. Someone that'll do anything for $1. And if you'll snap pictures of your dirty, manly looking feet for money, then you'll do anything for $1. That's basically the definition of doing anything for $1 is when you break out your phone and take pictures of your 7-Eleven feet to send to some weirdo on the internet so he can jack off to them. That's doing anything for $1, but I don't want to, give Oda that much attention this morning. I'm going on a trip. And I'm going on a trip through Georgia, through Tennessee, up to Maryland. And then once I leave Maryland, I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided. I may end up in jail. I may end up in prison. I may end up on breaking fucking Fox News. You never know. You never know how things go. That's why I'm telling you, when y'all did what you did to me, you didn't think very far in the future. I'm always thinking ahead, and whenever I make a decision to do something, then I'm willing to take whatever consequences come my way from that decision. And back in last year, at the end of last year, I made a decision to keep pushing forward this until there is an absolute conclusion. No matter if that means me up in jail, prison, whatever, under a bridge. I made that choice, and I'm ready to take any kind of whatever comes down the road. That's what I'm saying. If you're not willing to give it all for the cause, then you're not in it to win it. To piss some people off, I'll say that you're not in it to win it then. I'm ready to give up. I've said this a long time. My freedom or my life. That's how dedicated to this cause I am. That was my grandma. That was my grandma. You could have said whatever you wanted. You could have trolled me about anything. I never delved into anybody's private life. I never got any information that wasn't available on google.com. Some way, start out there. Okay, things going on inside my grandma's home? Nope. When I was 14, I didn't let the neighbors get away with talking about my mom. You think I'm going to let someone violate my grandma in her dying days, JT or Lindy? Come on now. It eats up at my soul every day, all day, every waking minute. If you don't think I'm going to do something about it some way, I'm just not a piece of shit person. And I don't want certain people to get in trouble because I don't think it's fair. See, y'all didn't think about what was fair for me or fair for my family or fair for my friend. You thought about your own butt hurt. In y'all were determined to run me off on here under hell or high water. Well, look what it did. Look how it turned out. You thought that was done to me because y'all thought you could get away with it. If you thought even for 1 minute we'd be where we're on now, you wouldn't have did it. All Lindy had to do was come to me and say, "Look, Ryan, something." Jackie could have fell over dead from a stroke for all we know. You know what I mean? Something could have been worked out, and I would have, even with Alex, he could have been like, "Yeah, I got a girlfriend." It could have been different. It could have been handled differently. And since I defended her and her family so hard, I was a good, loyal friend to her. People can say that. Come on. How many people around here for that many years, we never had no kind of public falling out? Like one time I said something to Chandra when I was drunk or whatever because I was pissed off because of Boris or whatever it was. But it was quickly rectified. Like immediately. I was a very good, loyal friend to her. It didn't have to be like that. I could have left here under different circumstances and got my life together like I have now without that kind of trauma. And it was traumatic for me. I thought I loved that boy. I was not mentally right in the head. And for whatever reason, it was a horrible, horrible. It changed my life. It changed my life. Every time I send out a text, every time I'm on my phone, every time I'm by a camera, it changed my life. And it's going to change somebody else's life too. She knew, come on, it's not about that though. I was a troll on the internet. No one knew who I was. Lindy knew who I was. She knew who I was before I knew she knew who I was. Come on. Lindy, if that's you or if you're listening, Lindy, you know, if you do want to change, if you do want to be a better person, Lindy, take it from me what I've learned about all this. Just be honest. People are very forgiving. People like honesty. People like, just admit shit. Just admit when you're wrong. I've admitted when I'm wrong. Okay, well, that's got to be Lindy because there is like talking to a brick wall. Bye-bye, Lindy. Be yourself, Lindy. Be honest. Be truthful. People are forgiving. If people like you for you, Lindy, for who you are, if your little new friend circle over there likes you for you, then they're gonna forgive you. Now, about the line about being brutally raped and all that, I think you just should get on your knees and ask for forgiveness for some people, especially women on here in these communities. And I'm sure there's plenty of them that actually have been sexually assaulted. And I'm sure some of them have been sexually assaulted and not believed and were genuinely sexually assaulted. And you used it on here to win a fucking fight and to get sympathy. So that says a lot more about you than about me trolling saying I was a girl instead of a guy so people didn't figure out who I was. I want the world to know where you live, Lindy. I think that's fair. I think that's just. You wanted to invade my life. You wanted to suicide troll me and troll me and troll me and violate my friend's privacy and my mother's privacy and my grandmother's privacy and my sister's privacy. Every one of those people work, Lindy. Even my sister, who had a fucking 3 brain surgeries, is fucking working a full-time job while you're sitting on your fat ass in Thomas's bed bitching about Mark not having a job. Fugitive. Freak. Be yourself, Lindy. Be yourself. Be true. Admit what you did. Don't admit it out in public. Admit it to your friends. Yeah. Not gonna. Well, you better win that lottery in the next 30 days or so, bitch. Because I'm gonna be up that way. I sure the fuck am. If I have to walk up there, I would. But I tell you what, I'm gonna be driving up there in a mid-sized sedan from Enterprise. Sure am. Totally legal, totally legit, good to go. With money in the bank to bond myself out. Today was refill day. And then Friday's refill day. I'm telling you, I'm doing very, very okay. Mentally too. See, this is what does that do? I could, if I wanted to go, I'm gonna have a new car by my birthday, or not a new used car. Depends. I mean, they're gonna get mom's gonna get a new car that's not like a Cadillac or Lexus or Infinity, or I'm gonna get a really good used one that's a few years old. So right now I've talked to my friend, just got a 2025 Honda Pilot or whatever, it was like $50,000 or whatever. Like either I can get like a decent used luxury car, or we can just get like a Honda or a Buick or a Toyota of a brand new one. My mom has like her credit score's like almost 800 now. All of our debt together, her whole debt combined is like $12,000. That's it. This house is worth about at least three. We could sell this house tomorrow for 300,000. They were going around here for 350, 375. They're the same size, same model, and everything. I'm in the process of getting my disability, my SSI, and I already get food assistance. Waiting for my SSI to go through. It could take up to even before the initial either a rejection or approval is like 280 something days are up to now. Anyway, I'm not going to argue. And then I get all that back pay from the moment I applied. And I can use that for a down payment. A $500 car payment, and I can carry that. And mom gets her Social Security, and she's working, and she'll probably work till she's 70, and she's 66. No, I could fly up there tomorrow if I wanted to, Lindy. It's about driving. It's about driving. Do you understand? It's about driving. I could go get on the Amtrak train. I could go get on a plane and go to Maryland. It's not about that. I want to drive up there. Do you understand? I'd already been up there if it was just about flying up there or taking a train or a bus. It's about driving, Lindy. It's about driving up there. I know you're a little slow, but I thought you caught on to that a long time ago. It's about driving up there. Okay, whatever. Okay. Well, I know my mom has about $2,500 in the bank right now, and her credit card's paid down, and she gets paid again Friday, so that'll be $3,500 in the bank. Third Wednesday of every month is when her Social Security check's deposited. So they're just fine. She has $600 worth of bills, and she's bringing in 4,000 and change a month now. And once my SSI is approved, that'll be 5,000 a month in cash and about $600 in bills until there's a car payment. So you're not going to tell me what I have and I don't have. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue with you, JT or Lindy. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to. You're a piss poor troll. Whatever you're trying to do. Let me take a moment here because I need to smoke this joint. Put this cigarette out. And remember, Lindy, how you made fun of me being a smoker when Jim fucking's over there? When you made fun of his walls being all yellow. Remember when you first went up there, Lindy Lou? When you snuck away from Thomas and flew up there and partially sucked his dick with a sore on it? That he said was from a zipper, but evidently it was the herp. Okay, bye-bye, JT. Bye-bye. We're going to block. No, I ain't even going to do it. I ain't even going to do it. JT. Let's look up JT's address. What should I do here? I'm going to stay on here a few more minutes. There's this one screenshot of where they were suicide trolling me. Let me go back over here. Let me see. Oh, I remember this one time too. This lady, her name is Jeannie Patterson. I think she originally hails from Beacon, New York. And I had put this little, because I was like fixing up outside the front door there, like the entryway. I put some real plants were there. I had put this little like turtle with a glass. It was like a little nightlight turtle. I have it in the living room now. And I'd put it out there. And the next day, she had posted a turtle thing. So that's how I know people were watching my cams, JT. And if that means you were watching my cams, that means you were watching the ones inside of my friend's house. And that means you were watching the ones inside of my grandmother's house. And I will literally die. I will get shot by you, JT, or shot by Alex, or shot by someone. And make sure y'all have to have some kind of, go through it before I let y'all get away with that. That was my fucking grandma that worked her whole life, JT. She worked more than you did. How long have you worked in your whole life, JT? You know how, if you add up all the times I've had a legit job where I've worked, probably about 6 or 8 months in 48 years, JT, but I'll admit it. But I tell you what, I've always worked for my family. My mom doesn't do anything around here except get out of that bed, get in the car, go to work, come home, and get back in the bed. I pay the bills. I wash her clothes. I wash her linen. I clean her floor. I clean my floor. I mow the yard. I buy the groceries. I put gas in the car. I wash the car. I check the mail. I do everything. I call her doctor's office. I do everything. I file her Social Security. I do the property taxes. I do everything, JT. I run a household. So I may not be busting my ass at Subway or McDonald's every day, but I do other stuff to compensate for not working. I've always done that. Always. I'm not a freeloading bum like Mark. I compensate for not. When I was over at Grandma's, I busted my ass. And I busted my ass for years like that for Grandpa too, and he paid my way. I didn't ride around in a brand new car. I didn't live in the best place, but I didn't live on the street either. But I always worked for it. Grandpa, I would always go over there and do stuff for my grandpa. Always. Even when I was with Brian, we'd go over there and do stuff. So he'd give me a couple $100 to go party on the weekend, all that. How much are you going to get with 6 months of work history? That's why I get SSI. I get $954 a month is what I'll get, plus my $292 in EBT. So there's that. I'm fine. I'll be fine with that amount of money, and I can still work part-time, and once I get that car, I can do DoorDash a few hours a week here and there too, as much as I want up to a certain amount. I've already researched. I'm very resourceful. When I'm curious about a subject, I'm very knowledgeable, and I learn everything there is about it. Just like with the spyware and hacking and all that, I could literally teach a class in it now. That's how well versed I am about it. Oh my God, Jerry, I stole. Let me tell you something here, and I would tell this in a courtroom too. So it ain't like y'all are recording something they're going to use against me. Okay. When I was, Jerry is a weirdo pervert. He's always been. He's a narcissist. He's very low IQ. He's ignorant. And my grandma tolerated all those years and went through it. And she always, oh, baby, you're the best. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, build him up, gave him that ego boost. Well, when she started getting like that, she couldn't do that for him no more. She always took care of him. He didn't want to take care of her. Anyway, make a long story short, he's a weirdo. He's very insecure. He used to, even when they would go out of town to sting Hatchie, he'd leave little recording devices in the office out there to try to listen if we were, I mean, he's just psycho like that. Anyway, he had those cameras, those trail cameras in the fucking bathroom, in my grandma's bedroom, in the fucking bathroom. He's a weirdo. And when I realized those cameras were over there, that I flipped my lid, especially he had known after what y'all did to me and all that. And so then, and he was like, because they were like, oh, we're going to give you that car. We're going to give it to you. It's going to be paid off in August. And he was fucking with me. Mom told me, she's like, he ain't going to give you that car. Don't let him do that to you. And I was like, yeah, he is, Mom. Yeah, he is. And then he was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give it to you then. And he's like, oh, I'd realized it's not going to be paid off for 6 more months than that. And he started playing that game. And I'd go over there and I'd bust my ass and I'd kiss his ass and do everything. And he kept playing that game to me. And then after that camera thing, and he's like, oh yeah, a couple days before that, he had said, oh yeah, it's actually, I made a mistake. It's not until 2025 it's paid off. And I'm thinking, come on now, I know when that car was bought. And so I was like, damn, Mom's right. He's fucking playing me about that car. He'll never give it to me. Then he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to tell little Jerry one day, when I die, to make sure you get that car. So he was playing me. And my grandma, that house was paid for. We didn't want to know that. She promised me that car. And so anyway, and then after him recording me, because he was worried I was going to have grandma sign something, but I didn't give a shit about that house. We got our inheritance from Grandpa. I'm not going to go to, I'm drinking this energy drink, so I'm all hyper. To make a long story short, he wanted that car. That car is worth about $22,000. Well, guess what? I spent $5,000 on their credit cards, called it even. Don't like it? Call the police in. He gave me the cards. He said I could do it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. My grandma told me I could do it. She said, get whatever you want on these cards. Prove me wrong. Go ask her ashes. And I'm sure he lied and told the bank that I used it without authorization. So prove it. Prove it. I'll go to court. Take me to court. Take me to jail. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. He made out on that deal, and he can sit over there and rot. And he's lucky. I did troll him. I did make a fake Facebook account one time, and I was like, I know you were recording people over there. He was, let me tell you this is how sick he is, and he's a pervert. There was that camera there, the Wise cams, and then he had that over there in the corner. Like if you looked at her camera there, it went right through the dining room there, and over in that corner, she had that little, it was like a corner table that went all the way up to the ceiling, like a little knick-knack thing that went in a corner. And there's those fake little bushes up there, and I saw the glimmer off of that screen on that trail cam hidden in there, and that's when I felt like I was getting dizzy. And that's when I went back. I didn't even say nothing. I went back in the bathroom and went in that hallway bathroom. And when I saw that that's when I lost it. That's when because I even made Mom get off work early. I called my sister crying. I sat outside of Mom's work till she would leave. It was horrible. No, it wasn't about what was I fucking doing in the bathroom. He's a pervert. He is a pervert. He was out there. He was like, this is what he was out there saying shit like this. He was like, yeah, over there in Africa. He's always talking about sex and perverse sex. He probably hadn't had an erection in 30 years, and he was still obsessed about sex and porn. And he would show me on his phone from Facebook those links of women fingering themselves and bouncing around. It was gross. It was gross. And he's like, oh yeah, in Africa, they walk around hard. They just stick it in wherever they want to. They don't care if it's a 12-year-old girl. They just stick it in. And I was like, ooh, and I changed the subject. It was gross. He was a pervert. Even his son, back when I was 11 or 12 years old, because he used to work at Walpole Trucking, his son, little Jerry, who's a scammer. You want to turn somebody in? He owes the government. Anyway, I ain't going to get on all that. I could take that whole family down because they're all weirdos. Anyway, we were driving back from that Walpole, little Jerry was, and Jerry was following a different truck, and he was asking me, he's like, "Oh, when you think about girls at night, does your thing get hard?" He was asking me that like 11 or 12 or what it was, and I didn't even like, I don't even think I was like sexual yet then. It was so weird. They're weird. He's a pervert. And he was telling me when I was wiping grandma, changing the diaper, he's like, "Oh, no, you got to push in there harder." Oh, it's so gross. I think back of it. And then to know that that cam's on over there and probably the camera, he's a sicko pervert. And mom was right about everything she said. And I went over there, but I don't care. I'm not going to get upset about it because I got to spend time with grandma. I didn't have to be around towards the end. I got to spend a decent, I rubbed her feet and I painted her toenails and she knew I loved her. And I got to eat with her and laugh and joke. And I got an awesome time with her. And I got to leave at the perfect time. So I didn't have to deal with, all that. And I have a good memory of her in my head. I don't have a memory of her laying in bed dying like I do grandpa. So I'm blessed. It all worked out the way it was supposed to. But little Jerry, his son, scammer, they own that business and he flies on private jets and rents helicopters and has a monkey and all that shit. And they still live in a fucking bunch of anyway, he balances all that. He's a scammer, but he owns a lot. He's got a lot of property too. Y'all should go hack him. Richard Rayborn, look him up on Facebook. Anyway, and I made a fake Facebook and went to Jerry and I said all that shit. And I was like, "Don't do it. He's an old man. He's going to sit over there and die alone. Don't fucking troll him." Because he's paranoid. He'd had me walk up and down that fence line because he thinks people were trying to throw poisoned meat over the fence to his dogs. He said the FBI come out there because he said he was a cop. All this shit. Old people get paranoid like that. And he'd always been kind of paranoid because he's obsessive compulsive. Like he would literally like check the meter to see how much the electricity was going. Anyway, he's a psycho and I hope he dies a horrible, miserable death. And that's what he heard me talking shit on him to grandma when he was recording me in there because I was like, "Oh God, grandma, I only tolerate him sometimes because I know how much you love him. I wasn't nice to him when I didn't like him. I don't like Jerry, never liked him, could never stand him. He's ignorant. My grandpa was like a genius. He was a genius to where he's eccentric. That's how smart my blood grandpa was. Jerry was like just ignorant. Like when COVID come out, he said it was coming from the contrails of planes from China. Oh, ignorant. Anyway, got that out. So fuck you, JT, and fuck you, Lindy, you violated. Anyway, let me get back to the moral of the story is. The moral of the story is I'm going to go because I have to take mom to work and I have to go to that DUI school today and have them sign that paper and all that stuff because I'm going on my trip. I'm going on that trip. No, he was giving me like $60. I busted my ass. Yeah. And if y'all watched on the cams over there, I busted my ass over there for him and I worked for it. My grandma worked her whole life. She got her Social Security. She got a pension from the state because she worked for the school system for 30 years. 30 years. When Lindy's mom was doing her probation for stealing from the county courthouse, my grandma was teaching little kindergartner kids for like $8 an hour or whatever. They didn't have no money to steal. All they had, they had his Social Security check was like $2,000 a month. Grandma's was like $1,000, and then I think her pension was probably $1,000. They didn't have no money. That house is worth about $450,000, $500,000 on that acre there. Like they had that kind. That's little Jerry's. We never wanted that. We got our inheritance. I got my $600,000, and it's come and gone. And there's still a home here that's paid for. That car's lasted for 20 years. We ain't had a car payment in 20 years, and it still just barely has like 69,000 miles on it. It leaks some oil. I keep oil in it. It's good to go. It's got air conditioning, power, everything. The steering wheel moves up and down. It's good for now. Mom's not going to retire without having a decent car that can carry her on through for another, you know what I mean? I'm not going to have weirdos on the internet tell me about my life. Just like I had fucking people listen to this, JT or Lindy. Come on now. I had people like in Ohio and South Florida in Jacksonville that literally live in little trailers, that probably have less education than I do. And I got my GED and went to one semester at Hillsborough County Community College. I guarantee you I have more education than them. Maybe not the one in South Florida, but the other ones I do. I know Juan did get her GDE publicly, and everybody humiliated her for that. But yeah, they were trying to diagnose me. I'm a sociopath. I'm a narcissist. Well, let me tell you something, lady in Ohio or lady in Jacksonville. When you go to school for 8 years and your name is Dr. Briggs or Dr. Roach, then you can diagnose me and I will take your diagnosis. Until that time and day, you are just as much as a psychiatrist as I am. I can watch some videos on YouTube and Google some sites, and I am just as knowledgeable in it as you are. Okay, and so if you don't like me calling Bridget a covert narcissist or Jeannie Patterson a black-hearted baby tooth goblin narcissist, the one in South Florida who is obsessed with my poo poo. Oh, it gives me a chuckle every time. She's upset. Literally, her grandchildren live down the road and she was more wanting to see my doo-doo than them. I mean, what else can you say about her? What else can you say about her? She is a what you call a wounded narcissist. Back when her business failed, her naughty bakery business failed, she never recovered from it. And she sat at that window ever since, hating life and hating everybody. From the Nina days to prior to that to the Lindy days, she's a miserable old bitch. I go find Shauna and all those people, the shady group that they've all said everything that's ever been, everyone in this world that's ever been associated with the one in South Florida has said that she's a miserable old bitch. Ask anybody that's ever been a friend, they'll tell you the same. Ask people that are a friend now that weren't her friend before, and they know in their head, God, that's a miserable old bitch. She is a failed narcissist. So anyway, when all these people get their degrees, then they can diagnose me. Until that time, you don't get to diagnose me from hacking me, from thinking you know, from what video you watch. No, nope. If I don't get to do that, you don't get to do that. We call you thief. But how am I a thief? How am I a thief? I'm not wanted. Georgia does not want me for identity theft. They don't. I'm not wanted. I don't steal for anything. I don't steal anything. What have I stole? I just said what I did with the credit cards, and what? What have I stole? What have I stole? I stole some alcohol when I was off my medicine back in 2011 from the Winn-Dixie and got arrested. What else have I stole? I'm really trying to think here. What have I stole? Nothing. Nothing. What have I stole? Everything I buy, I pay for. Because you stole from your elderly. Oh my God, that's Lindy. That is Lindy. Okay, well, if that, I just told you the whole story, and if that's the way you want to see to it in your mentally unhinged mind, Looney Lynn, then that's fine. But I just told the story. So when you go turn yourself in for having the electricity turned on in your half sister's name that you said never existed, because you having power was more important than her having her, than her having her money. You having electricity on was more important. So you took it upon yourself to steal her identity to have the power turned on at your home because you felt you were entitled to it. You couldn't afford it. You couldn't do it in your name, but you were so narcissistic and arrogant. You stole her identity, had it done, and then wouldn't even take responsibility for it. So what? And everything Lindy has, Thomas is paid for. What does Lindy do for a living? She didn't make millions from her business that she pretends she sold. How does she support herself? Thomas supports her, and my mother supports me. I just redid my mom's whole bathroom. I just seeded the whole front yard in grass seed yesterday. I keep her home up. I wash her fucking sheets and towels. I take out her garbage. I cook her food. I go pick up her food. I go pick up her medicine. And she pays, come on now. Come on. You're reaching. Okay, well, that's fine. I told you the story. And also, recording a man in the bathroom is also a crime. And it's gross. And it's morally wrong. So when you go call him up, 813-986-5686, say, Jerry, why were you recording Ryan over there? Why? That's not very nice. That's not very normal. That's a felony. Linda, you can't battle me like that, girl. You just can't. It's not in your, it's just not in your DNA, girl. Come on now. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to go here. It's been 49 minutes, and I slept till like 3 in the morning, and I'm gonna get up and I have to take mom to work, and I have to go to Brandon and go to that DUI place and get them to sign this damn paper. I have all my proof. If it was about going to just, if it was about money, I'm not gonna say my finances on here. But let me tell you what, if I wanted to fly first class to Maryland, I could have my mom make that happen thanks to Suncoast credit card. If I want to spend the money in the bank, that's fine. I could do it. It's not about how I'm getting there like that. It's because I want to drive. And if you're just now getting that, Lindy, then that's what I'm saying. Go turn yourself in. Go turn yourself in, fugitive in a home with firearms, before you even piss me off more. I'm not even reading that because I'm putting you in timeout. Put user in timeout. If you, for 24 hours, see you tomorrow, Cappuccino. While you're thief. Go away, Lindy. You're a fucking nutter. You're a nutter. Admit it, Lindy. Admit it. That's why I'm a better person than you, because I can admit it. I can admit what I did. I can admit who I am. I can admit everything. You're the fraud. I bet you're still telling people you were raped. I bet you're still going to that online therapist telling them that you were raped. You lied. You're a liar. You're a fraud. You're a weak woman who won't take responsibility for what she did in her past. You put it off on everybody else. It's everybody else's fault but Lion Lynn's. She doesn't take deny, deny, deny. Right, Jackie? Deny, deny, deny. And that's exactly what you've done. That's one thing about you, Lindy, is you don't change. You stay exactly the same. That's why you're a miserable bitch in someone else's home. Thomas is like I'm in my mother's home. But unlike you, I can go get, even without a driver's license, a valid one, I go get in that car and I ain't got to worry about going to prison. If I get pulled over, they'll write me a ticket and I'll go to court and pay the fine. You know why? Because I'm not a wanted fugitive. I'm a registered voter in Hillsborough County, Lindy. You even lied about voting for Trump because you can't. Anyway, I hope everybody has a really good day. That is my hour Wednesday sunrise service. I love everyone, and I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you have a great day. I hope you just take a moment when you're outside today just to take in a deep breath and just look at the sun and be grateful you're not a fugitive, because that fugitive's going to be locked up in a jail cell with bars on the window, orange. And when you have pale, take it from me, Lindy, I've been to jail many a time. When you are very pale and white, that orange is not flattering at all. It brings out all the blemishes on your face, the red, everything. You're going to have a miserable 10 years in there. So, but you better start gaping that butthole now. Start stretching it out to put that iPhone 16 Pro Max. Get you a new one, because by the time you get out, they're going to be on the 26. So make sure you gap that hole, get that phone all up in there, lube yourself up, get that phone up in there and go turn yourself in. I'm gonna stream. If you think I'm gonna go to the grave while streaming outside of your house, and you're stupid. It ain't about a fucking plane trip. If I wanted to go to the airport this morning and leave, I fucking would, bitch. It's about driving. So I'm gonna go. Everybody have a great day. I've got all these screenshots. I've got here. Let me give this one more thing. I didn't want y'all to think, oh, he don't have them. He deleted them. That's why he ain't doing that. It's just because I haven't been mentally well. I just haven't. I haven't. This is stressful to me. It is stressful to me. It has destroyed my life. Here, I can't show them that because you see the thing there. But let me go to the hidden part here, because I have here. Let's go here. This is on my OFA. Hidden. This is just on this phone now. Hidden 1,160. Let me click on there. Okay, that's not all. These are screenshots from that. Like here's the fugitive. Like there's her, where she escaped Georgia for her 10 years. Anyway, but there's a bunch. Let me scroll down here. Like, look, there's Hello Starlight's mugshot. Like, there's a bunch of just other stuff, but there's a bunch of screenshots on there too. From all that, from Mara's thing, from Bridget's. Look, there was something Bridget posted about the pictures are on my phone, and then she posted almost the identical thing there. So I've got all that. That's just one phone. But I'm going to go because I've had enough of y'all for the day. Please don't spend your whole life on YouTube. Please don't be a beggar. And if you're a fugitive, turn yourself in, because it's the right thing to do. And I'm telling y'all, I'm going to give this message. Let me take one more sip of my Monster Energy drink. Whoever gives me proof, just think about it. Think of how, I'm telling you, this will be all over the internet. It will be viral. I'll make sure of it. I'm telling you, think of the content you could make. Think of the money you could make. Think of all that. And like I said, once I win my lawsuit, I will be the sociopathic gay Robin Hood of Boyd, and I will come back and give every penny to the people of Boyd, all JT's money, all Angelo's money. I still think it was Angelo. Someone had access to something they shouldn't have had access to, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I'm not going to get myself upset right before I go. But anyway, I will get you whatever you want. Everybody knows my phone number. Everybody knows my emails. Everybody knows everything. Mail me a letter, whatever. Give me enough proof, and I will get you whatever your heart desires. And that is a promise from me to you on my grandmother's soul. Everyone have a great day. And remember, it never pays to go real life, and the truth always comes out in the end. Bye, y'all.